Welcome to workout 5 of the 6 weeks to summer challenge. You don't need any equipment. We're just going to get right into it here. So you're going to start sitting up nice and tall, bend in your knees, arms reach up to the roof, and you're going to curl that spine down. Exhale and inhale back up. Exhale down. All right, come lay flat back on the mat. You're going to bring that knee into your chest. You can lift your shoulders, head, and chest off the mat. We're going to alternate those legs going in and out. You can lower your shoulders and head back down onto the mat if you need to. All right, come down. We're going to go into a glute bridge, alternating knee lift. So you're going to lift that leg up, place it back down, and alternate to the other side. Keep that bridge lifted nice and high. All right, now you're going to go into just a glute bridge lift, lifting as high as you can, squeezing those glutes nice and tight. All right, you're going to lift those shoulders and that head back up off the mat. Keep those legs straight, alternating side. These are scissors. Giving it just a little gentle tug on that leg as you bring it in towards yourself. All right, come back up to sitting. Let's go into that curl one more time. Arms lifted nice and high. All right, lay back on that mat. We're gonna do that single leg stretch here. All right, let's go into that glute bridge with that alternating leg lift. So you're here, lift that bridge nice and high. Use your hands down by your sides to help keep you balanced. You don't want your hips to be shifting back and forth too much. All right, now go into just the glute bridge there. Lift nice and high. Squeeze those glutes at the top nice and tight. All right, back to those scissors. So these are nice and slow and controlled. You're not racing through them. All right, let's go through this one more time. Sit nice and tall, arms up, and curl that back. So you pick the intensity on this one based on how low you go. All right, lay back with a single leg stretch. All right, let's go into that glute bridge, alternating leg lift. Lift that bridge nice and high. All right, let's go into that glute bridge. All right, lift that chest up off the mat and get those scissors going. So the higher you reach up your knee, the harder you're going to work, or up your leg, I mean. All right, go ahead and grab some water if you need it. We'll move on into our next circuit in just a few seconds here. All right, so our next move we're going to go into is you're going to be on all fours, and you're going to be doing leg circles behind you. So stretch that. We'll start with our right leg, stretch that right leg out, and just nice big circles like you're tracing the inside of a barrel. All right, switch directions there. All right, go ahead and switch legs. Lift that other one nice and high. My left leg isn't as good as making a circle for some reason. Switch directions. All right, you're going to come back down onto all fours. Lift those knees off the mat for a hover. Halfway there. And 3, 2, 1. Drop those knees down. You're going to come into a full plank. So you're in a full plank and you're going to bring that leg up for a crunch. These are like, it's kind of like a mountain climber, but nice and slow. You want to focus on keeping in that plank form. Halfway there. Keep going there. All right, come down. You're going to come down and stretch into a child's pose here. We're going to sit here, get those arms nice and stretched out, relax that core. All right, go ahead and come back up. We're gonna go back into those leg circles here. So I'm trying to stay in control of those hips. Don't have them rocking side to side too much. You want them square to the floor. Switch directions. All right, switch those legs. All right, switch that direction here. All right, come up into that bear hover. Go ahead and lift. You want your shoulders stacked over your elbows, stacked over your wrists. Almost there, halfway. Hold it. You can do it. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Go into that plank. You're gonna bring that knee up. Alternating side to side. We're trying to stay really stable in that front in your shoulders and wrists and elbows. Almost there. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and sink back into that child's pose. Let those wrists stretch out. Give them a little rotation. All right, come back up onto all fours. Let's shoot that right leg back again for those circles. Switch directions. All right, switch legs. Switch directions. All right, go into that bear hover. Halfway there, you got this. Nice deep breaths in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. 2, 1. Step back into that plank for that crunch. Alternating knee. Over halfway there on these. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Sink back into that child's pose. Our wrists are getting a break for the rest of this workout. Nice deep breath in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. All right, come back up. We're gonna go into our last circuit here, keeping it short for the end of the week. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab some water if you need to. We'll take a few more seconds here and then we'll go into our next circuit here. So for this next circuit, you're gonna lay down flat on your back, legs up at 90. We're gonna be doing alternating toe taps. So hands down by your side, you're tapping those toes down on the ground, trying to keep those knees at 90. So here you want to really focus that you're exhaling on your way down and really pushing that spine into the mat. All right, legs come up straight. We're going to do leg lift and lower. So you want to follow that same breathing where you're exhaling on your way down, pushing that spine into your back, squeezing your core as tight as you can. All right, so you're going to come hands, excuse me, hands back behind you. You're going to be doing a lift and lower into tabletop. So we're lifting up, lowering back down. All right, you're going to come to seated. Legs come out straight in front of you. Those arms come up. You're going to exhale down or take a big inhale. Exhale down and twist and lower those arms. Inhale back up. Exhale down to the other side. Really think about using your core to do that twist for you. All right, we're going to go back into those toe taps. Laying flat, hands down by your side. All right, straighten those legs out. Lift and lower. If you're having a hard time keeping that back pressed into the mat, you can bend at your knees to kind of practice that feeling. It takes practice to keep that spine pushed down. All right, we're going to go into our tabletop lift and lower. All right, stick those feet straight out, arms come up, big inhale, exhale, twist. Alternating sides. All right, let's go into those toe taps one last time through. Alternating toe taps, sorry. All right, straighten those legs out for those leg lifts and lowers. All right, let's go back into those tabletop lift and lowers. So I'm gonna try to make that butt come up as high as you can, get everything kind of in line. Use your core. All right, stick those legs straight out. We're almost there. Nice big inhale up. All right, let's do a little stretching here. So reach for those toes or knees, shins, thighs, wherever you're at. Get a nice stretch in that back. Let that head hang. Come back up. If you want, if your wrists are really sore, you know, a lot of when you're first starting out, it's a lot on your wrist. So just put your palms facing the roof up and be very gentle here. Toes, or good grief, toes, fingers out in front of you, and just rock very gently back and forth. Just give your wrists a little stretch to do the opposite of what we were doing. Balance things out a little bit. Now you can put them fingers facing each other, and then you can rock side to side a little. Be very gentle. It's going to be a very intense stretch on those wrists. And then you can put your fingers towards your knees and just do the same motion. Rock back and forth very gently. Couple of wrist circles here. Your wrists will get stronger. You will get more used to it as you keep going. Thank you. This is our first week. We finished it. You guys did great. I love seeing the posts. I'll be posting more videos for next week. I really appreciate you watching and following along. Thank you so much.